Hey, it's Brad. The importance of gratitude can't really be overstated because, it changes the context of pretty much anything. Like, comfort in general, it's a pleasant thing. It's desirable. But it breeds complacency. You just get used to it, take it for granted, and you don't feel like making any changes. But in the context of gratitude, if you're constantly grateful for your comfort, which generally that's achieved through, being productive in some way that exhausts you and the rest feels well earned and well deserved. Similarly, there's like competition and rivalries and things. Well, those can be beneficial in sport, but that again is only in kind of the sportsmanship context, which is that of gratitude for the exertion. When it becomes combative, then it just breeds more aggression, and that's where it leads to any of the negative things associated. Similar to one of my pet subjects, video games, when they clearly meet a variety of needs, they can be thrown at problems as kind of a cure-all when nothing should be applied that way. Like, even if you had, a magic band-aid that you put on anything and all of a sudden the pain's gone. Well, that's not good to use all the time either, because then you're going to end up having no pain tolerance. And who knows what's going to happen if that, whatever the magic drug is, builds up in your system. So it's having any sort of a reliance on things has to be in the context of gratitude, so that you essentially don't build up a tolerance of intent. You don't start trivializing anything that has any sort of a significant impact in your life or livelihood, because that's exactly the pattern of how things fall apart. Like anyone that's in a relationship, if the trope among a lot of guys is going off and finding a girl on the side, or at least going and fantasizing as such. And imagine how much different things would be, how differently they would treat their significant others if that was the only source of any sort of physical pleasure for them. Just saying, it would kind of change the dynamic. I'm not saying that we should, but imagine if we went to an arranged marriage system. Well, if you were forced to make it work, because if you go back to the matchmaker, then it's going to be a bad mark, or you can't afford to, go and get a refund and get a new one, then I imagine people would be putting in a little bit more effort into most of these relationships that you see just like vending machine material and used for exactly that. Anyway, feel like gratitude would fundamentally change the fabric of society if people would apply it to really any aspect of their lives, let alone all of them. I mean, if people viewed religion and relationships anywhere near the same, I mean, if people viewed religion half as necessary as they view relationships to be, the world would be different. And then if they had a mentality of gratitude towards either of those, then the way that they approach everything would change. But maybe that's just a dream.